Alright, here we are, guys, back for another Golf Clash tutorial. Eagle Peak, hole 8, par 4. So let's take a look at this one. Oh, this looks pretty easy overall. So depending on what the wind is, will probably dictate the way that I go about doing this. Let me try to figure this out. It appears to me that going to this left-hand side is probably going to give you the better angle overall. And not knowing what my wind is going to be, that's probably the way that I'll play it. Keep in mind that I'm kind of setting my, land zone up based on this wind. I'm going to try to not power it, and you can see how I kind of pulled it back to make sure that I could still extend it up full. So I'm going to try to, use very little power, maybe just a little. I'm going to try to keep that momentum and forward progress, kind of away from the edge to try to keep it out of the rough. I don't know how much it's going to roll down that hill, and I'd like to keep it away from that edge if at all possible. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Notice I have a Titan ball on, not technically going to be necessary here. I could go down to a Navigator, but one of the things, especially that I've noticed from the new shootouts, is having that extra distance, at least on the ones, so we've played 2 holes so far. One of them, I'm a little bit kind of like, I'd like to have just a little bit more distance if possible. So keep in mind that me with a Titan, it might be more like somebody with a Sniper 9, Sniper 10 with a Navigator. It'd be kind of equivalent. So really, if you're out clubbed and kind of outmatched in every match, it might make more sense for you to make sure that you have an adequate ball to be able to do this. Now, here you can see what we have here. I'm probably going to need to land on this fairway. I'm thinking maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 backspin. You could see how close I was to max. With these downhill shots, I usually do a bit of an overplay. So what I did was I did plus 20%, and I'm still going to probably use this max number here. And we'll just see how that goes. This is kind of my first time playing it. So we'll just kind of see. Like if this is too much, we'll see, by what scale, how much is it too much? But it actually looks like it isn't too much, and I actually made it. So you could see, if you guys want to replay this, I input the wind. I use plus 20% down that hill. Keep in mind, it's going to be very distance specific. The farther you get, the more you might have to go. The shorter you get in that fairway, you might be able to go a little bit less with your overplay. But keep in mind that I still use that max number because I knew, down the hill that it's going to severely overplay. And the biggest mistake that guys typically tend to make is they don't realize the scale that it actually overplays. So with the way that you can see with what I did there, it was a very substantial overplay. And as I mentioned, guys with less experience or whatever, they may not realize, especially once they learn ring play, they're going to say, oh, well, I'll just go, whatever normal rings is. But you always have to be kind of factoring in that elevation, and especially with severe drop downs like that, which there's not very many of them in the game, but anytime that you see that, it's going to require a substantial, amount of extra to go. So definitely keep that in mind. Good luck with that hole, and catch you guys on the next guide.